Hello, everybody, and welcome to Responsible AI in Action with the Responsible AI Institute, where we are speaking with some of the leading voices in responsible AI. I'm very excited. We have Rob Katz joining us on the show today. Rob, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been really inspiring to follow the work that you've been doing at Salesforce. It's an organization that is really leading the cause when it comes to responsible AI. And you are, of course, the VP of product for responsible AI and tech at Salesforce. So I'm wondering if we could start there. What does someone in this role exactly do?
Thanks for asking. And like I said, thanks for having me. So at Salesforce, we build technology that helps companies connect with customers. That can involve helping sales teams manage their work and do their sales work. It can mean helping customer service teams connect with customers that have issues and resolve them quickly. It can mean creating really powerful data visualizations, and it can mean creating very personalized marketing and e-commerce solutions, among many other things. All of this is powered by data, and increasingly, all of this is enhanced with artificial intelligence. And so, since I joined Salesforce about 5 years ago, we have already and always created a strong set of principles that guide the work that we do around ensuring our technology is designed, developed, and delivered responsibly and in alignment with our ethical use principles. On a day-to-day basis, I'm proud to say that we work up and down the technology stack at Salesforce to ensure that those products I just described that help people with their sales management, customer service, marketing, e-commerce, data analytics, and more, that they're using AI in ways that the models are created and shipped responsibly and fine-tuned responsibly, that the platform capabilities that can be customized either by Salesforce developer teams or by people in our Salesforce ecosystem, those developers, that their guardrails and mitigations and accelerants built in by default, and that the features that ship out of the box that help, for example, a customer service agent craft a personalized reply using generative AI, that they don't perpetuate biases or mirror toxicity, or that they are subject to unexpected hallucinations. So those are some specific examples, and I'd be happy to talk about any of that in more depth.
Yeah, I appreciate you walking through that. It certainly is a lot to cover with regards to just the various responsibilities and roles, and especially as AI continues to progress, figuring out the ways to implement it responsibly. I think of maybe someone who's viewing this right now, maybe they have a similar type of role as you do at another organization, but they haven't implemented that responsible AI component yet. We've found that with a handful of organizations, although many are starting to implement it because there's such a vast array of things to take care of and to focus on. What would your insight be on where to start? Where's the best place to start with implementing some of this governance?
Well, Salesforce has been really fortunate that we started with strong alignment inside the whole organization that our AI strategy should be centered around trust. And for us at Salesforce, that means aligning on a set of ethical use and responsible AI principles. It also means creating sensible, clear, and easy to understand acceptable use policies for the appropriate creation and use of AI, and clear guardrails around how models and products that leverage AI are designed, built, and delivered. So for us, we started the Office of Ethical and Humane Use of Technology, which is where I sit inside of the organization. And structurally, we report both into the product organization, which is creating the technology, and into the legal organization that is ensured with making sure that we're compliant with and actually leading on quite a bit of the regulatory and legal aspects of how these tools are created. And so our ethical use policies can be found online. We publish them. We actually co-created them with our employees and our stakeholders. Then we created a set of policies that help us delineate how the tools can and can't be used. So for example, when it comes to AI, Salesforce's AI tools cannot be used to make legal or similarly significant decisions. So if you're working with AI and you are trying to make a decision that has legal ramifications, you can use it to, let's say, summarize your meeting notes, but you can't use it to automate a decision about whether or not someone should be moved forward or not in a particular legal proceeding. So that's the kind of policy that we have in place. And then product wise, we're looking at products up and down the technology stack to ensure that we're assessing them for trust and safety risks and best practices, and ensuring that they're not subject to some of the most common problems that affect AI around perpetuation of bias, leakage of personally identifiable information, hallucination or confabulation, et cetera.
Yeah, these are all really good points, Rob. And I really love what you're saying about how different teams within an organization need to come together and figure out, okay, how is this going to affect each of us? And how can we put ethical or responsible guidelines in place and have alignment so that we're all on that same page? And I cannot agree with you more on that aspect of making sure that trust is at the foundation of things. It's been interesting to see how this industry, how AI has been evolving. Of course, just this week, the New York Times released an article about the global race to control AI, and the US is making deals with big tech companies such as Microsoft, Amazon, and IBM to restrict access of AI chips in China and restricting access to other certain technologies through deals with other countries. And despite this race, though, many countries agree that they want to capture the benefits of AI in areas like healthcare and education without uh, undercutting privacy or spreading misinformation. I think a lot of organizations, I'm sure Salesforce among them, understand the risks that could potentially be involved with AI. So, Rob, I would love to hear your thoughts on this article. How do we strike that balance between having a competitive advantage while also ensuring the safety as we develop this technology?
AI is an incredibly exciting technological innovation. And I think that it has the potential to transform businesses and other organizations in many industries. And it's already transforming the way I do my work and the way that we all are interacting with technology on a day-to-day basis. But like any innovation, artificial intelligence comes with risks, like you mentioned, things like misinformation, inaccuracy, toxicity, bias. So as the world rushes to harness the power and the potential of AI, it's really important that we take the time to invest in policies and systematic protections that help guard against those risks. And there are some who worry that efforts to ensure safety slow us down or could cost us some potential hypothetical competitive edge. But in my experience, I actually find that in my work, ethics and innovation and trust and innovation are not at odds with one another. In fact, they go hand in hand because rather than taking a move fast and break things or a let's dig the biggest moat around us as possible, we're saying, hey, for these technologies to be adopted and for their potential to be unlocked in industries like you're talking about, healthcare, education, they have to be trustworthy. They have to be trustworthy to, in healthcare, the practitioner, the doctor. Let's say, and I just was talking to a colleague of mine whose doctor was using AI to transcribe their appointment so that they would not have to later on go and handwrite the meeting notes, the notes from the appointment. And it was saving the doctor so much time, and it was allowing the doctor to have a face-to-face conversation with the patient. Really important. If it is trustworthy, if you can count on the fact that it's not going to hallucinate some condition that isn't there, or that it's not going to leak private information back to the third party model, because then it wouldn't be legally compliant and it wouldn't be trusted by, in this case, the patient or the doctor. And so, I don't know that we're thinking about the risks necessarily in the right way. In fact, like the greatest threat to AI today isn't the technological capability or the innovation or this company or country is ahead of that country. It's actually a breach in trust. It's a breach in safety. And so, that's why for Salesforce, our AI strategy centers on trust. And it's why we're really working closely with governments around the world to advise how to create tailored risk-based AI regulation that's protecting people and unlocking the transformative potential of this technology.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Rob. The fact that I think in a lot of conversations, sometimes people think of kind of the trust and safety side of things as divorced from the innovation. But you're absolutely right. They're very intertwined on a wide variety of different levels. And being able to move forward with that foundation of trust, like what we were discussing earlier, is essential and I think will help prevent a lot of other potential issues, hallucinations, for example, down the road. So it's really been inspiring just to hear your insights, and especially with the work that you're doing at Salesforce. Rob, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to join us on the show and really for the work that you're doing. You really are a pioneer in this space, and being able to work within an organization like Salesforce that is implementing AI responsibly is really setting the course for many organizations to follow. So I'm so glad you were able to join us. Before we part ways, I'm wondering if you could just share with our listeners where they could find out more about you and your work.
Thank you for having me. And it's really a privilege to be doing this work at Salesforce and to have the opportunity to speak a little bit about it with you and with your listeners. You can learn more about Salesforce's Office of Ethical and Humane Use of Technology at the following link, which I think we'll include in the show notes. And it's salesforce.com/company/ethical-and-humane-use. So that's salesforce.com/company/ethical-and-humane-use with hyphens in between each word.
Wonderful. Well, I'll make sure to include the link for that in our show description. So for all your viewers out there, all you have to do is scroll down, click that link provided. Rob, thank you so much again for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.